My teacher took points off my presentation for stimming. I am not oop. This is a repost sub. Trigger warning. Ableism. Less than. Edit. Since people were confused. Some definitions. Stimming repetitive behaviors. Autistic people, among others, are compelled to do ASD autism spectrum disorder IEP an accommodation plan for a disabled student. My teacher took points off my presentation for stimming posted in our special by you, Substantial Dog 4104 on November 17, 2023. I'm gonna sound annoyed in this post because well I am so mad about this mainly because of both the conversation after as well. We had a debate in my English class. Okay, great. I need better skills in public speaking. I'm fine that I lost points from bad speaking skills, but what I'm mad about is the fact that I lost points on stimming. I didn't even know that was something he could take off, but he did. And that just seems unfair. He said it was distracting and he couldn't focus on what I was saying because I kept rocking back and forth and slightly punching the podium, which made too loud of a sound, etc. I don't think this is fair. Like at all. And maybe I'm overreacting. Maybe I'm upset over nothing. I talked to him today stating some things and stuff and getting clarity and asking for extra credit and stuff. He said that I need to present myself better, and I need to make eye contact, stop stimming, and just socially act my age. Which I think is so uncalled for. I'm diagnosed with ASD. I have an IEP for that. Nothing academic related. This is an honors class. Anyways. Again, maybe I'm just making it a bigger deal than it is or being a crybaby. I've cried for the past 3 hours over the last 2 days on how much I hate myself that I can't be normal. Is this fair? And what should I do? Comments from Op. I'm not technically failing the class now, but it definitely feels like failing. My grade went down from a 90 to a 79. I can't take a dual enrollment without an 85 or higher. / This is just honors English too. However, I've been telling both this teacher and another teacher about how I want to take the criminal justice dual class. I have everything to take the class except if I can't get this English grade up. Plus, I basically planned my whole life out. And the only time I can take the dual class is next semester if I want to take the APs I want to. Junior, senior year. Which may be why I'm so butthurt over 4 points that I lost from stimming. 'Cause that makes a difference. Even if it's small. / It was 50% public speaking, 50% actual research topics. He actually said my arguments were really good. I used good sources. And I explained things well. But my public speaking part killed the grade. / I lost points on poor presentation overall. So for example, poor eye contact, speaking clarity, repeating sentences. Which I also am annoyed about because I repeated one because I was stumbling over my words unamused. However, 4 points to an already poor grade is a lot. Single quote. My teacher took off points for stimming. Update. Posted on November 27, 2023. I posted a post about 10 days ago discussing how my English teacher took points off my presentation during a debate because of stimming. So I thought I should update you guys if what occurred after. For one, I discussed with my teacher in my own. I wrote an extra credit proposal, which he granted. I ended up getting a 5-point extra credit assignment over Thanksgiving break. I had to tell a speech to my family about the importance of gratitude and what it means to me. Secondly, I talked to my dad and stepmom, which they both not the happiest. We ended up talking to him. While he won't change my grade for the major, he is giving me a chance to make up minor grades. If I do some extra work, etc., 2 minor grades will become 100s. My teacher took points off my debate for stimming. Update to the update. Posted on December 18, 2023. First and foremost, I brought my grade up from a 78 to a 90. I know that grades aren't everything, but honestly I can't be more excited about this. I also got a 100 on my state EOC, which I know probably had a huge curve, but still. I was extremely nervous about it. Secondly, we ended up adding stimming onto my IEP. The person who does my IEP was annoyed that we even had to specify it since she thought it was common sense. Lastly, the teacher got a talk about the importance of inclusion in his classroom and also to better understand some neurodiversity disorders in better detail. That yours truly helped write, since mental disorders and psychology is one of my special interests. Anyways, that's about everything that has happened. My last day of school was Friday, meaning I am officially done with this teacher for the rest of my high school career, and I can happily say, I am very excited to not have to deal with him anymore. Edit. Y'all. This was an English class, not a debate class. Loudly crying, specifically English 2 honors. Probably should have mentioned that. Seriously, what is wrong with the teacher? His attitude was way out of line. But hats off to Op for not only standing their ground but also making some real change happen. Getting stimming recognized in their IEP and educating the teacher on neurodiversity. I think they deserve to celebrate this. And hopefully continue to excel in their honors classes. Oof, I can relate to this. My stim was flapping my hands until my grandma kept telling me off for doing it because it makes me look silly, so I kinda trained myself to stop. Well, I stopped flapping and swapped to rubbing my hands together rapidly instead, which is more invisible because people do that when they have cold hands anyway. What's stimming, ASD and IEP mean? Lol. Every single presentation I ever gave, I got points knocked off for being autistic. This is just standard. Maybe I'm just out of the loop with what's included in IEPs nowadays. But punching the lectern feels like a logical thing to deduct points for. I really hope WHOOP is proud that they advocated for themselves. It's not always easy to do. And well done for their grades. That's awesome. My dyslexic brother got thrown out of a uni lecture by a lecturer who wouldn't allow him to record him despite being pre-advised of my brother's disability and reminded by him when asked to stop recording. Not knowing what to do and being a confrontation avoider, he packed up and left them, called me being very upset. I told him to contact his disability support worker. That DSW went thermonuclear about it and emailed the vice chancellor of the uni, who was equally displeased, and emailed the head of department. The lecturer got a written warning, was put on a disability awareness training refresh course, told that my brother could record whatever and whoever he wanted whenever he wanted, and to top it off had to write a letter of apology to my brother. I can understand why OOP thinks it's unfair. I'm ADHD-ASF. And plenty of stuff seems unfair regarding working conditions and such. But how a person presents information is incredibly important in the workspace. Whether you're briefing a contractor, negotiating a raise, advising the C-suite, or whatever, what you know will always be viewed through the lens of how well you can relate your usefulness to the decision makers. It sucks that most neurotypical people can't relate as easily to atypical minds. But that's the cold, hard reality. If someone presents poorly, it will absolutely hurt their career options in most roles, especially early on. I can understand their point of view though. Personally, I usually present pretty well because I make allowances for neurotypicals. If I were presenting to people like me, I'd speak fast, run through the info at a slide per every 3 seconds and call for questions at the end, and have the prezzo over within 5 minutes. because by then I'm ready to focus on something else. But what I want to say is never going to be as valued as what my audience hears. And that's a lesson I wish I'd learned at OPP's age. I wish I could say this gets better, but I get chewed out at work for general ADHD things. Doesn't matter if I'm efficient, under budget and early. Some people just have issues with neurodivergent people doing neurodivergent things. Honors English. Should've. I was very wrong about what the stimming was going to be. Thinking something less disruptive and not punching a podium. I can see how the teacher decided to take points off because of him punching the podium. But at the same time he can't help himself either. The rocking may have been helped by if pacing was allowed. But man, we need to get that kid a fidget cube or something for presentations. Heck, I'm not ASD. But I find I have some destructive anxiety, ADHD stuff I do that has been curbed by a couple fidget toys. My HS physics teacher stuttered something unreal, and had a few tics, and was a teacher long enough that the stress of being bullied by it didn't cause him to stumble. But words like kinetic energy would take an extra few seconds. Which is fine. We were obligated to give speeches on research projects, and he told us as long as we spoke, we could face the blackboard, we could walk around, we could jangle keys in our hands, we could never make eye contact, but as long as we spoke about the things that we learned to the class, and it was evidence-based, we could present how we felt fit. Some kids really took advantage, but after it got old, everyone just was fine with it. I had no idea what stimming was, so this was a very educational BORU post for me. The second I realized he has neurodiversity issues, I really felt for Op. I get the impression the teacher was maybe an older lecturer who is set in their ways. It's not about the grade. Why would you be asked to make a presentation? It's to prepare you for industry, so you get graded based on how good your presentation would have been if you were doing it in your job. If you were being really distracting, then your presentation to a client wouldn't get them to sign on. That's just the reality of business and is nothing to do with fairness. Money doesn't discriminate, but rich snobs do. Hell yeah. The response of including the student in prepping materials for better accessibility and inclusion is what it's about. Also a strength of ND is we speak up. We don't stand for injustice, and I love that this was their experience. I just hope it continues. I was celebrated for those traits at school, and then suddenly in the workplace I was the worst. It was super confusing. I wish the teacher had gone about this better. If Op had room for improvement in the speech itself, great. Maybe the punching was loud enough to make it hard to understand the speech. They could have asked Op if a stim toy would help to redirect their energy. If not, fine. If so, awesome. I can't believe OOP had an IEP and the teacher still did that. Kudos to them for helping write the educational materials for the talking to. Your job is to present, and he failed in part of his presentation. That is life. Wow. Op went from an A to a C due to their disability being graded. That's so messed up. And not only that, they have to do extra work to make up lost points due to the teacher wrongfully grading. That is not a way to teach students. I suspect I may have ADHD, and my recurring stim whenever I have a presentation is running a hand through my hair. I'm not fixing it. It doesn't bother me. I just have to because of the stress. Also, constantly stepping side to side and having zero gesticulation because I'm too focused trying to look someone in the eyes. Speaking loud enough and saying what I have to say. I'm saying all this because my professor recently criticized me for all of the above. And I tried to explain it's more or less outside my control and whether I'm nervous or not it happens during presentations. But he just told me to tie my hair next time. I've been doing this since elementary school presentations. And I hate getting points taken off for it because they say I'm really good. But talking too fast, fidgeting, not self-confident, etc. And down go the points.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.